Welcome to CATtheMinion YouTube channel. My name is Teresa, but you can call me Cat. I tried to get the paper out of the shadow of my camera, and it's not really letting me get there, so it's just gonna have to be there. So I have this video here. It's gonna be an entity channeling because Archangel Michael is on me to speak to him, and now I'm too hot. And the last couple times that I did channeled angel readings, I had to draw them. Now, this is actually a sequel because I looked in my channeling entities playlist and I have already done Michael. So the last time I channeled with him, I had used a drawing of him that like a sketch I made a few years ago. So I can't use that same one. So for this reading, I have a piece of printer cardstock and this gel pen here, and I'm going to be drawing him while I'm talking to him. This is the same cardstock and gel pen that I used to make these charms, which I'm going to be using. So he wants a few of these, and some stuck under the box clip thing. He also wanted, my goose is getting wrecked. He wanted the Radley Valentine Angel deck here, and I've got to pull out the cards that he's on. I have this paper over here. I'm going to try not to get my brand new purple nail polish all over that, because it'll like swipe on the edge. So he's on the Emperor card. I kind of remember which one he's on. But he's on the back of the deck too. I don't remember the name of the artist. The artist that drew these depicted Michael as having blonde hair, but I always see him with like black shaggy hair. And I would fight people and I'd be like, you're wrong, if they did not agree with me. But I understand that people tend to see what they expect to see. Although I don't think I had any preconceived notions. That looks like him there too. Preconceived notions. I think he's on 3 different cards. The World and the Emperor and something. Of course, I did already clear and shuffle these, but now they're going to be mangled because I've been flipping through them. I'm going to get to him in a second, but I have to pull out these cards first. So I can hear him talking in the back of my head, and I was saying yesterday, the wheel. I was saying yesterday, when I was doing Ava Cassidy, that... Is he on the World card? Is that somebody else? I thought he was on 3 of these cards. I gotta find the other one. Oh, he is on the World. Okay. A lot of the time I'll see people like sitting in like a radio booth, but he's sitting kind of in this light gray cloudscape that's like iridescent. I guess it could be called Mother of Pearl. I heard somebody say that on Fade to Black Radio. Like a Mother of Pearl. And I was like, well, that's kind of like being light gray with like iridescence underneath it. and it's just like sort of like a room, but it's sort of like outside, like it'd be like a patio, but it still feels like being inside a room. And he's got like a chair, like an armchair. Okay, so he is on the Emperor card. Let's get that focused for a second. The Emperor, number 4, masculine energy. Organization and logic, structure and discipline, and then leadership. He's, oh, shit. I don't feel like getting the Angel Dictionary right now. He's on the wheel, which is Sagittarian energy. Emperor is Mars energy. So it's a time of positive change. A situation suddenly moves forward. Fortune is on your side. So already we've got Mars energy. Right now, I think it's right now that Mars is in Scorpio. There's a lot of friction. I want to say fricatives, but that's language. Mars is in Scorpio until December 13th. And then Mars moves into Sagittarius. But we're also dealing with the Sagittarius, the Sun in Sagittarius coming up on the 22nd. Mercury in Sagittarius on the 24th. The Moon in Sagittarius on the 4th of December for that solar eclipse, that new moon solar eclipse. I mean, there's usually a lot going on for Sagittarius in Sagittarius season. And then we have the World. This is Saturn energy, that's Capricorn. Right? Venus is in Capricorn, Pluto's in Capricorn, Saturn is in Aquarius with Jupiter. And is that it? I guess that's it for now. Venus, where did Venus, she move yet? Oh yeah. Yeah, she's gonna be retrograding on December 19th. Which is when Chiron goes direct in Aries. So there's underlying Aquarian energy here, like it's not being talked about. There's Venus energy that's sort of not really on the table. It's also a hidden element. But that's kind of what's in there right now. Pluto is in Capricorn, the ruling planet of Scorpio, which is where Mars has been. So we see Michael on these 3 cards, allegedly Michael, because I don't see him as being like jacked and blonde, but I see him more like not like wiry, but like just not like super pumped. So 4 and 10 and 21, they're sort of spaced out throughout the major arcana. I don't know that I really want to talk about those right now. So I've got the charms. I've got these cards. Oh, okay, apparently it's a countdown. The final countdown. Who sings that? Europe. Okay. So I've got the Aquarian Tarot. I've got this Angel deck. I've got the Lover's Oracle. I had it out because I was talking about it to somebody earlier today, and he's like, don't put that away. And when I was putting the Starseed Oracle away, I keep it in the same box as the Work Your Light Oracle, and he wanted some of these too. So I did clear and shuffle all that stuff, but I want to just sit for a minute and start working on him here, and then just kind of grab stuff as he wants it. So let me get going here. You know, pen can be unforgiving, can also smear because I tend to be heavy-handed. I'm not used to drawing on camera, but I'm going to try to get him in here. When I was drawing Gabriel and Uriel for the last couple videos, they had a lot of input on how they wanted to be seen. I'm not quite sure how this is. Oh, you want more angularity in the eyes, so they're not too feminine. Usually I see angels as being rather masculine. There's older depictions of angels where they're looking very like androgynous. Wow, that's a long nose. Let me bring that back up a little bit. With, you know, soft chests, not like breasts, but just very soft, and sort of feminine arms, and these sort of flowing gowns. But I mean, I see them usually in robes, but it's a very masculine shape underneath. I'm just kind of wondering why I'm ending up drawing him looking very cat-like, because he doesn't usually look cat-like, but, you know, angels do tend to be beings of fire, so maybe that has something to do with it. This is a little bit different than he usually looks. Maybe I should have left his nose that long. Some shading in there. So, I mean, I do tend to see angels as being fairly masculine. I do see them as very distinct. I know a lot of people will see angels and consider them to be like they're all really similar. They all like blonde and wearing white and everything. If you go back to the 1200s, I want to say, I think it's Giotto, the frescoes of angels, they're usually wearing like pink and blue. They're definitely wearing stuff that's a little bit more colorful. I don't know when angels started wearing white. I don't know if that's an invention that didn't really come about until like the 1950s, or if it was like the 1800s. How is this gonna... He kind of wants me to draw his hair like mine is right now, like, you know, wolf cut. Because that's kind of similar to how I usually see his hair. So drawing this wrong. But yeah, just in terms of depiction of angels, and then a lot of the times they're like, oh, angels, they're like blonde and they wear white and they have golden wings, and that's really not the case. And in fact, Michael is supposed to be wearing a suit of armor and a saffron-colored fur. And I have a painting of him that I drew. I drew a painting. I've had a painting for sale on and off for years. It's part of a set because I did Michael and Ariel and Gabriel, and it's still on my Etsy. Plus there's a bonus panel that I did those in like 2006 and 7, and then there's a panel that I threw in there that I did in high school that's kind of similar, that's different. Different angel. I think these are kind of short. His hair is usually longer. I mean, this is mostly just a sketch anyway. But he was... Why are his eyeballs so huge? This is kind of weird because I'm sort of like channeling how he looks or how I usually see him while trying to talk about what he wants to talk about, although he hasn't really gotten into it that much. I mean, Ava Cassidy's channeling yesterday was not the armor though, but like a jerkin. She was bringing up information about timelines and stuff that's going on in relation to Uranus going direct in Aquarius and the full moon. And I feel like he's sort of doubling down on that. By coming in right after, but I feel like what he's gonna talk about is a little bit more profound. He's showing me like the Pleiades. He's talking, I think he wants to talk about disclosure. I think his eyeballs are up too high on his head. He's looking a little bit weird, but you know, I didn't do any warm-up sketching, and I haven't drawn anything in a while. It's not going to be perfect, but you know who it's of. Could pick him out of a lineup. So, okay. Charms to start out with. Hang on. I gotta start another segment because I'm gonna forget. Okay. So we've got this inverted thing here, the shorts, and I was talking about being like yanked by the seat of your pants, but not backwards, like being dragged forwards, but staying in that position, like you're being pulled from your root chakra, basically. And here's the shorts inverted. It's sort of like, it's giving me the feeling of like being pantsed. Pantsed. There's like lower hair down here. Didn't really leave it. Oh, there we go. He's gonna, why are you looking hobbity? What the fuck? He's not supposed to look like a hobbit. So we have this person in the crosswalk, also inverted. This is like, it's like you're not supposed to be going where you're expected to. I should have like shaved the side of his head a little bit. That would have been cool. Like a mohawk. But I can't put a weird patch. Maybe next time I'll draw him with like a mohawk. Because Gabriel and Uriel came in with these sort of like rock and roll looks. I think Uriel like last November, and then Gabriel in February. So I think if Michael had shaved sides and like a mohawk going on, that would work for him, especially if he had like a studded leather jacket that would be equivalent to like a suit of armor. Like more volume on the side here. The castle here, which reminds me of the Four of Wands, but not necessarily. Ooh, and randomly opened my little coloring book. Not mine that I made, but one that somebody gave me because I was trying to relax. And it was a castle. So here's this castle that I colored in. I'm low on markers, so I only have certain colors left, and I tried to make up for it with the colored pencils after. So I have this castle here. So this is like this small version of that. But again, it's like structure and bureaucracy. Like, we don't necessarily want to just keep going into that building. It's also, he's also giving, like, he's showing me like a tabernacle. I think that's how it's supposed to be pronounced. I used to only ever see it in print, so when I first started saying it out loud, it was like really wrong. But like a temple. But a temple is supposed to be a template. A template. Like some of that like as above, so below kind of stuff. Which is why the temples were usually based on star patterns or like the actual physical human body. So there's this idea of the basic template. We've got pillars, we've got a front, we've got a door, we've got a flag. But then we have this expanded consciousness template here. And this is sort of like we're not going to cross the drawbridge. I have a top hat here, which seems to go with the shorts. It's like I'm being undressed, but there's something fancy. But it could also be this crown opening. But if you're having this ascension into this giant glowing like rainbow technicolor castle, then there is a crown activation, right? It's like I'm not going into a Chuck E. Cheese, I'm going into like a 5-star restaurant. I better put on my I better meet the dress code. So we have the pills, bottle of pills. Is that, I can't tell where that's in focus. I have the hamburger. Was I not just talking about fast food restaurant? We have the Polaroid. So this Polaroid for me, usually about being able to see what's just happened and reflect on it. But I'm hearing he is playing for me in my head. Outcast, Shake It Like a Polaroid Picture. And also, it gives me, like, making me think of Andre 3000, because that guy was dapper AF. So he would definitely probably have a top hat hanging around somewhere. So I have a snowman here. Some frosty action. Who is not wearing pants. And I have scissors. So, and if you see shorts, it's pants that have been cut shorter. But I don't think that's what's going on there. So let me see what he has to say about these charms that are out while I'm working on him. I'm just going to quiet for a second. Come on, Michael, what are you doing? Trying to get a visual on him in his cloud chair. He's saying the snowman is like made out of cloud. Imagine that the snowman is made out of this material. Like, what is this material? Ooh, it's like a... I guess I can still fit like a war bonnet on here. Like a hat. Like a crown or something. So, oh, the snowman has a top hat on. Duh. You know, and I was going to say Frosty the Snowman, but there must have been... Oh, and the crossing guard stopped them. You dumbass. The crossing guard in the street blew the whistle and stopped them. But what is a whistle? Whistle, like whistleblower. And I thought he was going to be talking about disclosure. He's sort of... It's like he's sitting back on his heels. And he's kind of laughing because he made a funny with the whistle blowing. Traffic, wait. The crossing guard yelled stop. Is that how the lyrics go? Something like that. Oh, okay, so there's going to be a thing here. He's not usually wearing, like, fancy clothes when I see him. He's usually just wearing robes. Was he wearing... I'm trying to remember if Michael was wearing, like, creamy robes when he took me on a little flight when I was in high school. And I think they were sort of like a warmer, creamy, iridescent, like not yellow, but like sort of ivory colored, but like with an underglow of gold. But I remember that his wings were sort of pewter colored more than anything. So what is it about... Oh, okay. So he's using the snowman and this Frosty the Snowman as this idea of beings coming in from somewhere else, but animating in materials that are known to us. Which would be part of disclosure. Okay. He's also giving me Pink Floyd's Tear Down the Wall from Bit from the Wall. A little bit of a... Oh, wait, I should just go this way. This is kind of hard to do. Multitask. Those lines aren't going to be going the right way. Oh, that looked good. Okay, so give me something from this deck. Sort of like, what about the scissors? He's saying cutting through the veil. I'm like, what about the shorts? He's saying it's going to be like a kick in the ass. So we have temperance. Temperance. Set in temperance. And what about the pills, though? He's saying a lot of people want to pretend they didn't see anything. They want to forget. He's talking about... it's sort of like picture it didn't happen, but also like doctoring photos. An establishment of covering things up. Or it's like you can only see it in it for a minute. And also sometimes there's energy distortions that mess up photos. So you try to take a picture of something weird, like an actual facts talking snowman walking around town being like, hey, what's up? And the photo won't come out right. So we have temperance, and then we have justice with it. 11, 14, and 11. He's saying that 11 has a lot to do with November. Temperance is Sagittarius energy again. It's to be holding the sword. But it wasn't supposed to be like a sword, though. It was supposed to be something else. What is it, though? I'm trying to figure out what the sword's supposed to be. Oh, I drew that wrong. Okay. So, how much time have I got? Okay, 5 more minutes. Okay. I'm just sort of distracted because I'm trying to pay attention to these details that he wants on here. The okay, so all right, stop giving me directions for a second and just tell me what's going on with temperance and justice. He's saying he's telling me that December is equal to 14, even though it's the 12th month. There's why is it 14 though? He's saying 14 cycles. Why you're being cryptic all of a sudden, because you're the one who wanted me to do all this crap. And he's laughing. He said, fair enough. He's trying to tell me that he has to think of it, how to express it so that people, like, other than me personally will understand what he's talking about. And I'm like, dude, like, you should have had thought of this before having me blabbing into the camera. Like, why is he unprepared? But I think he's saying that he's indicating that because of the shifting of the timelines, there isn't really any way to be fully prepared. But justice here is a balancing. In the whole point of November, he's saying, is for that balancing. Because not only is temperance it's sort of like kneading a dough, he's also showing me slime. Like mixing consistencies and colors together. Like a dough, a recipe of some kind. Okay, I'm just trying to look at him again so that he can talk to me, because it's very, like, my brain is very split right now between the drawing and looking at him and minding the camera. Okay, 2 minutes. I'm going to start another segment. Okay, so, alright, tell me what you want to talk about. And you have to break it down more slowly into words instead of grand concepts, because I have to repeat it back for the people. So I'm trying to encourage him to manifest a cloud microphone so he can talk into it. He says this is Gabriel's department. Slacker. And that's why he's not as good at it. Okay. So what are you trying to indicate to me, please? Because dead air time is not exciting for anyone. I'm sort of telling him that, like, Michael Jackson, for instance, when I did that channel, was a lot easier in terms of, like, being, like, having something to say. He's like, well, I'm not a professional celebrity. I am. This arm is gonna be, like, completely not in the right proportion. Why is his head so goddamn big? Alright. There's, like, a distortion going on here. His arm should be bigger. His hand needs to be bigger. Okay. Alright. Let's actually talk to the people. Let me get some other cards. Let's see if that will get you to actually talk. He looks like he's glitching out like a computer program. I think part of the issue is that he's starting to funnel through the drawing now that there's more of it. Okay. He didn't anticipate that, apparently. Look inside yourself. Examine what is causing you to feel this way. What way, though? Wait. He's just singing, "We're taking the hobbits to Isengard" to me. He thinks he's real funny. Alright, so his shoulder is, like, broken or something over here, but whatever. Apparently he's still a little bit buff anyway. Yeah, that shoulder is definitely, like, not right. Try to bring it out this way a little more. His neck is still in the wrong position. This is not a very great drawing. No wonder he's not coming through right. He's all friggin' distorted. It's the problem of drawing with pen. I mean, look at this. This arm is not right. Let me get something from over here. So you have Age of Light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. And then we have No, inverted. But when it's inverted in this deck, it usually tells me on. And it looks like one of those, like, grappling hook slidey friggin' things. Like a railing for that. So, okay, so he's giving me this David Cook song, Light On. It's like the lyrics are like, gonna leave the light on when you're gone. It's from 2008, from his debut album, right after he was on American Idol. But that's the song I'm getting with that energy. Also getting I'm also getting there's a light from Rocky Horror. On the edge of Frankenstein place. Me. Okay. I'm coloring those shapes in the wrong direction. There's a loud vehicle out there. Okay, so this Age of Light thing, coupled with these pyramidal ideas. Hang on, there's a loud thing. It's not that surprising to see a pyramid coming out here and then this pyramid here on the no card. Because he's having me, instead of a sword, I'm drawing this resonator stick that they would often be holding in Egypt. But it goes back to the as above, so below thing, because I was talking about the template either the template either adhering to the human body, like the temple at Luxor, which is in Egypt, or something like the pyramids where it's Orion in the sky and Orion on the ground. There's this opening up starting to happen. Apparently he wants to be in plaid, which is kind of suck to draw. He's telling me plaid for ludicrous speed. There's stuff it's sort of like waiting. It's sort of like the Nine of Wands, this idea of waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And in the meantime, what's been going on has been training. So this training for lifetimes. It's like everything is a dress rehearsal, but you're always saving a little bit of something for that final battle energy. Like it's you never give 100% until it's go time. And this is sort of the time when it's going to be go time. Like this is no longer a simulation. You're going to be out there in the air flying the airplane. You're no longer operating. He's showing me this like proctology robot. He's like, you're no longer going to be operating on the mechanical butt. He's got a little bit of a sense of humor. I mean, he has a lot of a sense of humor too, but he's, he's also an angel that's known to wear armor and to be, actually combatant. Like, he doesn't go to war unless he absolutely has to because he knows what's at stake. Like, he's not going to waste any lives or effort doing war games. He's going to wait until there's something like actually going on. He's giving me the number 3600, and I don't know if he means years or if he's saying that's how many battles he's had to do. It's like not impeccable fashion, but okay. Ooh, that looks pretty good. What do you think? Yes. He's telling, see, the thing is, he shows me an idea and it takes like half a second. And it's like he's telling me, but he's just sort of mind melding a little bit. But it's the whole point of this picture is that I'm dressing him for battle. Like I'm helping him put on his armor. Like in The Last Samurai, when the widow of the guy that he killed at the beginning of the movie that was forced to take care of him when he was sick. She was helping him put on the armor so he could go and fight for them afterwards. Like a little bit of tone in the face there. That's a little better, I think. He's usually a little bit rounder in the face, but I guess because he's... he needs more hair, too. Some more hair back here. So this idea of drawing in your energy. So this idea of suiting him up isn't necessarily like he's physically going to go fight someone. It's this idea of building an energy firewall of you know, opening your chakras and checking them twice, of stabilizing your energy, grounding, building energy firewalls, clearing your shadows and things like that. It's like you don't want to be thinking, like if you were literally going into battle, you wouldn't want to be thinking about whether you left the coffee pot on if you're on the front lines. You don't want to be thinking about that time that you like farted in first grade when somebody might be trying to put a mace through your skull. It's that kind of cleansing. It's like a ritual meditation to remove excess clutter, which is, it's kind of like if, I have a lot of celebrity analogies lately, I just realized. Like if someone is playing a role, they have to do makeup and costume. It could be, you know, a superhero movie. It could be just, you know, just like a, what's it called? An ensemble character movie. That could even be a play, but somebody's got to be old in it, and somebody's got to be evil in it. That they don't normally dress that way, and they have to, you know, put on the costume, right? It might take place in the 1960s or in 1400 or even in the 1980s, and it's like I don't feel like I'm that character until I'm in the hair and makeup, and then I can actually see it. I'm like, oh yes, I'm totally that person now. And that's the same thing that he's talking about, is that it's like suiting up, it's preparing yourself, it's a ritual way of, it's not a fake it till you make it, it's like a ritual way of becoming. Those specific words, a ritual way of becoming, is what he's giving me. You know, it's like you aren't a soccer player until you ritualistically put on your shorts That's what these are for. Until you put on your shorts and your cleats and your little socks and your shin guards and your jersey for your team. Only then, once you've placed all those things, do you go out on the field and then be like, aha, I am the soccer player. And this is what he's talking about. And I'm just sort of wondering, because I'm pretty sure that he's trying to talk about disclosure. And I'm sort of wondering what this, like, preparing to take on a role means in terms of that. I mean, it's sort of like, you know, prepare your anus kind of a joke. Like hold on to your butts. Like, this is what's coming. So, the hardest part about this is not losing the line that I'm on. This could just look like a bunch of crap. Okay, so I got a sleeve done here. Like, the idea, he's also giving me this thing of, it's like, you ain't gotta get ready if you stay ready. But that's not really the case. It's sort of like, you might have been preparing for something, but you're actually going to be taking on a different role. Like, you read for thus and such a character, but when the movie comes out, you're playing somebody else. You know, like, you started as, I don't know why I'm hearing quarterback, because I don't give a crap about football. You started out as a quarterback, but when it's game time, you're playing, like, you're doing the field goal kicker thing. I don't know what the positions are in soccer, because I don't do sports, but you know, like, you signed up to play field hockey, and by the time it's game season, you're over there doing broom ball on the ice. You know, or like I thought I was going to be doing sledding, but somehow I got stuck in Quidditch because that was all that was left. Almost gave him a sunken chest by accident. I guess he's kind of hunched over a little bit. So what does that mean? I feel like I can't stop this reading until I'm done with the drawing either. I know which one I need. Come on. Okay, I guess it's both of these. Manifesting miracles. Your dream is soon to become reality. Trust your heart and continue to follow its guidance. This tree here. Balance. Love is not always about agreeing just for the sake of it. A great relationship is one that both supports and challenges. So these cards talk about love relationships, but this balance is coming through in justice and temperance. There's this idea of, oh, I just heard Miracles Out of Nowhere by Kansas. Oh, my battery's going too. Getting kind of into this drawing now. So the battery is going to die pretty soon, and what I'm going to do is, while the other battery is charging, I'm going to finish drawing him. You can see that I've been working on him this whole time, so that he can sort of stop breaking apart and give a more concise message, because I have to wait for the other battery to finish charging before I can finish this. So I'm going to get him finished up on the page. You can see that I've been working on him this whole time. And then I'm going to try to get a little bit more. I feel like I haven't really said like that much information in this reading. And most of that is because he's not anchored while the drawing is coming up. So if I finish that while I'm waiting on the battery, it should help. Because I feel like I'm just kind of rambling. But I think it's for a reason. A lot of it has to do with the haziness. He's saying that the reading doesn't have to be like slam, slam, slam information. He said that there's nothing wrong with just sitting and hanging out You know, he's like, we're just chilling here. We're in the preparation stage. It's like just kind of talking about stuff while you're putting your gear on. So I'm going to come back with a fresh battery and the rest of the drawing. Okay, so I have a charged battery again, and I haven't done that much more. I kind of lost the outline of his hat with the back wing there, but that's what we got here. So, let me try to get this kind of all the way into the camera. Well, I'm going to use that as a thumbnail. Well, that's what the thumbnail, something else, but just trying to make it upright. I know if I go like this, up here, there we go. That's better. So when I was finishing this, I was sort of like, okay, but why? I mean, aside from just possibly me being crappy at it right now, like, what's the point of him being sort of crunched up? And, you know, because his head looks too big, but he's sort of indicating that he's incarnating, and it's difficult from his dimensional perspective to funnel himself into a physical body, right? It's like the vibes are too separate, you know. It's like if you have two animals that are closely related, they can breed, but if they're too far apart, they won't be able to, right? You can't really breed humans and horses, but if you try hard enough, you can get a donkey. Or, I mean, if you try hard enough, you can get a mule by mixing a donkey with a horse. But you can't get, like, a centaur. And that's, like, a difference in energy on a very basic sense. So, the idea is that... And I'm sort of like, wait, are you, like, coming out of the, like, angel realm or whatever it is, and, like, incarnating in a body? Like, where are you coming in? Like, who are you? Like, where are you at? And it's sort of like, no, but he could always, like, break off a chunk of himself and have, like, a fragment. There's been times when I was wondering if I was a fragment of someone. And I, maybe, but I have like other weird theories about myself. But purportedly he could break off a piece of himself and incarnate that, and then still be doing his normal, like, helping everybody who calls on him kind of stuff. So there's another loud vehicle going by. I'm sort of trying to, like, understand why he's just sort of sitting in the cloud room, just kind of hanging out. And he's like, I'm tired. Like, man, I just need a break. But I think now I'm going to try to look at this through the camera. I keep trying to look over my shoulder at it. It looks kind of worse in real life than it does on there. I feel like I kind of ruined it with the last few touch-ups, but when looking at it through the camera, it looks okay. I'm like, what is all this information? Like, what's it supposed to be doing? Because I thought he was going to be talking about disclosure, but it looks like it says, look inside yourself. And the scissors, it's like DNA, and then this idea of Frosty the Snowman is a being from somewhere else incarnating here. So sort of like the idea of disclosure is, it's like the whole idea itself is that it was like tempering, right? Mixing the fire and the water and you know, like strengthening the steel and then, you know, having this sort of scientific fluctuation method. And we're dealing with justice, which has a sword and a balance. I'm balancing out it's like I'm changing the tensile strength. And it's sort of like how would you temper a soul, basically? Like, how would you change its energy? And I think that's kind of the point, and that it's not necessarily like ooh, are the aliens coming? It's like we're kind of, it's sort of like it's already happened, but we're not like seeing it until there's like literally a snowman walking across the street. But I feel like the whole point of the reading, what I was understanding of it, has been wrong so far. But I want to get, we need a couple more of these Work Your Light Oracle cards. I feel like there's more, I mean, there's sort of more, like he's more able to talk because there's a body for him to inhabit now. And that's kind of the point of disclosure. It's like a lot of the beings are interdimensional and they can't speak until they have some kind of a body. But the body has to be prepared because their energy won't fit in a body. You see what I'm saying? It has to be like, they have to fit it like a finger puppet so that they can be in it. You know, they're their oversoul pops up and it's like it's like literally like someone is like, okay, this is like, in this game, this is me, like, hi, I'm me, blah 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 blah, you know, and someone else is like over here like, hi, I'm blah blah blah, and this is, you know, and it's like, oh, we're playing Monopoly, I'm gonna be the top hat, you know, like, oh, am I gonna put a hotel on Park Place? So it's like they have to design, what do they call the game markers? There's something, they're called something specific, but it's like, in order to have a body, they have to engineer a game marker, and then it's, you know, it's like, imagine that it's just sort of like stuck to their finger and the rest of their body's over here. This is a long walk for some of this information. I don't know why I had to draw him like mostly on camera. That's a pretty snazzy outfit too. I like it. It's kind of sort of like reminds me of the Ainu in Japan. Soul family with the whales. Call in your tribe, you don't have to do it alone. I mean, I think that's sort of disclosure too, but it's also like, look inside yourself. The DNA, family tree. And then we have priestess. This is coming in inverted, but it's just confused. Oh, those wings look kind of like his wings that I was trying to draw. How are you being called to step up and lead? There's this mirror image thing here. This looks like the lines of yesterday and tomorrow with the sun disk, but we still see this pyramidal energy. The high priestess is like getting the cosmic downloads Ten of Cups. So emotional fulfillment. So this is talking about, it's like in theory, we would know that over time our DNA has been tweaked in order for there to be some kind of like soul ascension. And the stuff that's going on with this energy in November and December is designed to burn through some shadow work that is heretofore as yet unaddressed, in order to turn on some more like energy circuits in people's physical bodies. Not only it's sort of like they can incarnate when the human body is working right. It's like we can't incarnate until your vehicle has four-wheel drive. Like, oh, well, last week we invented four-wheel drive. Oh, cool, now I can come down and drive around. That's, you know. Now that you have iPhones, I can come down and tell you what's going on. But this idea of connecting to the soul family, right? This is like, this is me in the higher dimension. There's a mirror going on. This is, you know, like me and my oversoul, or me and another version of me, or me and somebody from the Pleiades or Orion's Belt or wherever the hell, like Zeta Reticuli or Andromeda or somewhere. And like we're experiencing similar lives, but where we haven't been able to be contacted because this one is vibrating in a higher dimension and we're stuck in the physical. But this Ten of Cups, this emotional fulfillment, it's like, oh, those things that I was seeing out of the corner of my eye are real. Like, oh, it's Frosty the snowman, let's go and play. That kind of energy. It's not like holy crap, we're not in control. It's like someone's coming. And this idea, you've been training for this for lifetimes. It's not just, oh, come on. It's not just like final test in the simulator. It's the training is actually happening inside the body. There's all this sparkly stuff happening here. I was sort of like, oh, the plaid, and he's sort of like, he's saying like the different things weaving together this way and this way is a lot like the tempering, the DNA, right? Your family and my family, like your family's going this way, my family's going this way, and when we move it together, it's plaid, and there's like an evolution. There's something else in here. Shuffle one. What else do you want to say from this particular deck, Michael? It's weird to talk to him in the picture because I always see him in that cloud landscape where he brought me that time. Okay. Time, of course. You're trying too hard, give it time. This is that family tree too. It's like trying to like trying to have grandchildren when you're only 5 years old. It's sort of like, I'm hearing like some of you might not live to see it, but it's like people in the 1940s, like my grandparents, are being told like you might not live to see it. Holy crap. The Chariot. Where's the focus? Oh, it's back here. Metatron. Public recognition. 2 of air. That's a low vibration of the High Priestess. Unable or unwilling to make a decision, a stalemate, pretending there is no problem. This is sort of like la la la, I can't hear you, but there's this chariot energy with Metatron is Metatron is like, I mean, historically Metatron, the voice of God, like Alan Rickman there in the movie, but Metatron is like the architect of the properties of the universe, like the geometry that it takes on, like the way that things move and interact with each other, and how shapes are created and born, and how things materialize, right? Metatron would be like the one who says how eggs divide, how the zygote splits and turns into a fetus, which has a lot to do with evolution and the changing of the bodies. Now, this is somewhat relevant if I can find the correct charm in here. Man, I'm getting tired. Because the first charm that I made that was in any way a chariot was a UFO, and I just need to dig it out of here. I just got like really, really tired. Part of it's because it's like 4:30 in the morning, but also because I think I just got like a kick in the crown. Kicked my head like Lucy's frickin' football she's holding for Charlie Brown. Come on. Where's my frickin'... That's the only problem of having like 200 charms in this box, is that they don't spread out very well. But you could put them in a larger box if you got your own set, because I do have them for sale on my Etsy shop. I have 2 printed proof sets, and I have... You can download it, print it out yourself. Where the hell is my UFO? Oh, there it is. Whoop. Okay. So the chariot. Public recognition. And we've been getting closer and closer to that for the last couple years, but it's getting there. And then again, this is like the status quo, like the lower vibrational world that we've been in. Come on. You know, pretending that it's not there. Like, what are you talking about? I'm not getting any universal downloads. I'm not talking to people in other dimensions or star systems. I have no idea what you're talking about. Like, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. There's no ghosts in this castle. Pants. So, I mean, essentially what's going on is like approaching a critical mass, and it has to do with awakening. Some of that is because people have been, for the you-know-why reasons, people have been slowing down because they had to, and working less, trying to value identity as a human being more than, you know, making ends meet. The rat race is breaking down, and we see that people have been more interested in emotional fulfillment here. But then we have this, you know, like everything down here has been pretty crappy. But this, again, this sort of like avoidance of like, I don't see anything going on up here. Like the cosmic download is like, hey, like new, like what's going on, and you're just like, well, this job sucks, and that job sucks, and this other job sucks, and I'm really tired, so you know, it's like the revolution, but nobody noticed because they were tired and watching Netflix. That's what this Four of Cups energy is. It's very apathetic. It's like, I just want to take a nap. I'm really tired. But some of that is like the need to rest, the need to rebuild. It's like if you're in a bad mood, chances are you might just be tired. And if you've never taken a break during your entire adult work life, it might seem like everything's the same flavor of garbage. And the whole point is to sort of, and I think that's kind of why he was just sort of hanging out in an armchair. It's like, I'm just gonna like watch TV in the basement, in the furnished basement, and like smoke a joint or something. But he's indicating here that the body needs to become ready. Like a ritual preparation of the body. And some of that is because cosmic shifts that are coming, whether it's like physically, literally, like disclosure, or if it's like a huge consciousness shift wherein more people are probably going to be seeing interdimensional beings, whether it's, you know, like out of the corner of their eye, or in like when you're dreaming, right? You're like, oh, that was a weird dream. It's like, well, because you were talking to people in a higher dimension. And it's not necessarily like, oh, they're going to land on the lawn and come out and be like, hey, what's up? It could be that, but it depends. But it's definitely a consciousness shift. And once you can see them, they can see you. But if you aren't sort of in that vibration, it can be a toxic shock. Like danger, high voltage. Speaking of bitch. Right? You have to be in the right vibration. Because if you touch that... Oh, the Ace of Rod. And he's holding an electrical rod, too. It's like if you aren't... It's kind of like... Oh, I wonder if that's what he's wearing. It's like if you haven't gone through the prep list to be in the presence of the Ark of the Covenant, you can die from it. It's like a hazmat suit. So you have to wear the vest with the 12 crystals on it, right? Setting up a certain distortion field, like a little computer grid program, right? Wearing a motherboard, vest, so that when you put yourself in the temple inner chamber, in like the Holy of Holies, the castle inside the castle, that you're not going to immediately die of radiation poisoning. For example, I'm not saying that people are like literally doing that, but that's what it's like. It's like you have to wear the proper attire. Like if you don't want to get pneumonia, you should probably wear a raincoat. If you don't want to get frostbite, I mean, maybe don't climb Mount Everest, but also probably put some shoes on. That's the basic thing. It's like if you are going to be interacting with like really intense, higher level, like plasma type energies, then you need to be at a certain vibration. You need to have a certain ritual preparation, right? You got to put the scrubs on and the hat on and the mask on, and you got to have the nurse pull your sleeves up so you can wash your hands under boiling water for like 5 minutes before you can go into surgery. It's all of those things. And if you want to not get your head split open with an axe, then you probably should put on your suit of armor and have your weapon ready. And I'm not saying that it's dangerous either, but it's just this whole thing that he's been acting out during the duration of this video has to do with like awakening of DNA inside you, awakening of consciousness throughout like the world that we live in, and sort of paying attention and being in tune with it, but also just sort of it's like it's like he isn't really saying to like do like ritual meditation or practices or something, but there's like a way to prepare yourself. You know, like you want to breathe, you want to, it's like a mindfulness, he's saying. He's saying like become more aware. Like, what are you doing when you put on your socks? What are you doing when you brush your teeth? What does it mean for your body and your energy when you're climbing into bed or when you're going to work? What does it mean for your soul and for your physical body when you do something like receive money or give money or buy a concert ticket or go downstairs or ride the bus to school or walk to your morning class? What does it mean in terms of ritual preparation when you... He's showing me putting on like a tie, like a shirt and a tie and a sweater vest. Like a bow tie and a sort of a yellowish shirt and a sweater vest, like a blue sweater vest. Why is it so specific? So, a lot of what he's talking about is sort of like long memories. It's like stuff that's sort of imprinted as a species, that's like instinctive knowledge. Like if you were supposed to know something about your history, it would have been packed into your DNA, and it's like you know the basement is there, but you don't know what's in it. Like we put Pandora's box in the foundation of your body, but you're not gonna be able to open it. But 30, 40,000 years later, 10,000 years later, 12,000, whatever, it's like the box is disintegrating, and whatever information is in there is sort of leaching into people's bodies, and through various illnesses or intuitions or whatever, it's like it's starting to filter into the consciousness. And it's sort of like, it's like right on the tip of my tongue, like I swear to God I saw something, like why is it so weird here? That kind of thing. So this idea that there's more than meets the eye, like Transformers. It's like the man behind the curtain, like what's going on. It's sort of like he's like spreading his hands out and he's saying like awareness. Like the key to everything is awareness. He's also kind of indicating that this is going to be a a message that's either going to really resonate with people or it's going to really irritate people because of the slowness and the vagueness. He looks kind of high in that picture too. He really does look like a hobbit there. It's kind of annoying. He says, you already said at the beginning that I could take on any form. And I think some of the whole point, though, is that he looks different than I normally see him. It's like, it's not going to be exactly what you expected it to be. Things are going to come in a way that fits a certain resonance pattern, and if we've only been guessing what it is or getting snippets of it, then we haven't seen the whole picture, so we're not going to you know, it's not going to be 100% what you thought. And he's also pointing out that the physical world is only an approximation of energy. So when he's trying to incarnate in the physical world, it's never going to be 100% of what him as a multi-dimension, higher dimensional being looks like. And he said, and he's also sort of pointing out that this version of him could be like the little finger puppet, whereas the other drawing of him could be slightly closer to his like natural resting state. He's like, yeah, the other one's my resting bitch face. He likes to, I mean, he likes to joke a little bit. So that's, I was gonna say that's all there is, and he's sort of like standing up and like slapping his hands on his knees while he does it, sort of like dusting imaginary chalk dust off his hands. He's like, that's all, folks. So I don't know. I mean, that picture looks really good on camera. I think when I'm done updating my cafe press, which might hopefully take me one more day, but might take me two, I'm gonna scan him and upload him, and then he'll be for sale too, this drawing. So if somebody sees this video and needs Michael, then we'll, like I said, he'll be for sale on my Etsy shop probably in less than a week. But if you want him before then, make me an offer, and you know, via email. I don't know how many people are going to see this, and again, I don't know how many people are going to find it useful or just completely irritating. At any rate, you got to see me draw half a drawing and just kind of ramble on a little bit about how I talk to him in general. Oh, he's in the way. Okay. So if you do want to get that drawing before I make it available on Etsy, you can email me. Also email me if you want a personal tarot reading. They're not going to be vague like this because they're going to be focused. The list of readings is going to be down in the description box underneath here. I've got coloring books, dark poetry, merch prints, and actual art items like drawings. Gabriel and Uriel are on Etsy, the original drawings, and then I've got prints of them on DeviantArt. Gabriel is a drawing like this, but it's a little bit fancier. This is sort of a sketch that went crazy until it became a real drawing. And then, so Gabriel was like a good drawing, and then basically in the same format. I think I used Sharpie on him though. Maybe the gel pen, I don't remember. And then Uriel is a larger, full-size sheet of drawing paper like this guy up on the wall. It's an 18 by 24 in chalk pastel. And he's got bright orange hair. and Gabriel's in black and white. And then I have those paintings, which I have away in a box, but you can see them in my Etsy shop. What else have I got? I think that's it. Coupon code 3star17. It 17% off 3 or more items on Etsy. Now, not everything's going to be like over 100, like that Uriel drawing. It's going to... I have chapbook packs, which are like little mystery packs. It's like getting a few cards, just like images and writing to help with synchronicities. You know, get a little, hey, what's up from the universe. And I don't even know what's in them anymore. I've got like 600 of them. They're all packed up. And it's like the cost of a greeting card. So those are there. I've got some templates for making foam lotuses, and then I've got the downloadable thing for the charms, the PDF that you can print out and not hit the camera with it. And then I've got the 2 printed sets, the proof sets that you can get if you want those, and then just cut them out. You can color them in, you can glue them onto something else if you want. And like there's 205 of them. Yes, that's it. I have no idea how long this is gonna be. I'm so rambly because I'm really tired and it's like ass o'clock in the morning. So let me get Michael back up here. And again, everything through my link tree, linktr.ee/CATtheMinion. So let me get him back up here. There we go. Alright, so I'm just gonna leave him on the thing here, and I am gonna say, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, check out my playlists tab, and stay groovy, and we'll see you later. Bye.